Hey everyone. Welcome back to the Soul Harmony channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Rain relentlessly assaults the desolate Greywater station. Each drop a stark note in the lonely symphony of the night. Lena Hart, a transit security investigator, stands alone on the platform. Her figure silhouetted against the dim, flickering lights. A gust of wind tears through the station, momentarily lifting strands of Lena's hair as she anxiously checks her watch. The station, ancient and forgotten, seems to groan under the weight of the storm, its isolation palpable. Rainwater streams down the grimy windows, blurring the already indistinct view of the surrounding darkness. Lena's determined gaze sweeps across the empty tracks, a silent question hanging in the rain-soaked air. Dim light stretches across the Greywater dispatch office, illuminating rows of obsolete monitors. Lena, weathered by time, is hunched over her console, her face etched with the station's grim solitude. The hum of the station is broken by a burst of static. Emergency call coming in. Line 07, train 93, a voice crackles over the radio. The dispatcher urgently repeats, "Distress signal detected." Lena steps onto the Greywater station platform, the darkness thick and absolute. Her flashlight beam slices through the night, revealing the stark, deserted platform. The air is heavy, the silence broken only by the wind whistling through the station's skeletal frame. A low rumble begins to vibrate through the ground, an approaching threat in the darkness. The distant sound grows, echoing from the tunnel like a promise of arrival or escape. Lena's silhouette stands in stark relief against the encroaching light and sound. A rusted, dilapidated train crawls from the tunnel's black mouth, its metal groaning like a dying beast. The train's digital sign flickers erratically, a sinister warning flashing, "Train 93, do not board." An eerie silence descends as the train pulls into Greywater Station, its presence unsettling and otherworldly. Shadows stretch and twist around the train, as if the darkness itself warns of the dangers within. Lena steps cautiously into the train car, her eyes wide with apprehension. The interior is a panorama of destruction. Torn seats and shattered glass litter the aisle. Deep claw marks scar the walls, a testament to savage violence. The air is heavy, cold, and thick, with a metallic tang that stings the nostrils. Shadows dance menacingly in the dim light, hinting at unseen dangers lurking within. Lena's breath mists in the frigid air, a visual echo of the train car's desolation. The train car rattles, fluorescent lights casting long shadows as Lena scans the rows of empty seats, her sharp eyes alert. A faint, strained voice cuts through the rhythmic clatter, drawing Lena deeper into the silent car. She spots Martin slumped in a corner, his soiled uniform stained with a spreading darkness. Martin's eyes widen in desperation as he meets Lena's gaze, a silent plea for salvation in their depths. "Help me, please," he whispers, his voice a fragile thread against the backdrop of the train's relentless rhythm. Fluorescent lights flicker, casting long shadows down the narrow car of Train 93. Jerky movements enhance the unease. Sweat beads on Martin's forehead as he leans in close to Lena, his expression a mask of frantic urgency. "This train, it shouldn't be running," Martin whispers, his voice barely audible above the train's rumble. Martin's eyes dart around, paranoia etched on his face as he continues. "David Kepler, it's him," he clarifies. Kepler was blamed for the crash years ago. He escaped, his voice rising in panic. The revelation hits hard. "He's seeking revenge," Martin says, fear palpable in the dimly lit train car. Inside Train 93, dimly lit car, Martin leans in, his face half hidden in shadow, ready to share some secret. "Kepler learned to control the train," Martin whispers urgently, his words hanging in the stale air. The fluorescent lights flicker ominously, strobe-like, heightening the tension. A heavy scraping sound echoes from the train's roof. Martin's eyes widen in terror, reflecting fear. A sudden violent tear in the train car's ceiling heralds chaos. David Kepler drops down, soot-covered and masked, a figure of grim determination. He clutches a rusted wrench, a tool, and a weapon in the dim, swaying car. The train hurtles on, oblivious to the drama unfolding within its metal shell. The train car rattles violently, a symphony of chaos as Lena raises her gun, the metal gleaming ominously. "Freeze!" Lena's command cuts through the noise, her eyes blazing with fierce determination. Kepler, consumed by fury, ignores Lena, his gaze locked onto Martin. Kepler's face is a mask of rage, every line etched with betrayal and burning vengeance. "You lied to me. You stole my life." Kepler's voice resonates with raw emotion, shaking with anger. The rhythmic clatter of the train underscores the intense confrontation, a backdrop to the impending showdown. Flickering lights cast long shadows as Kepler lunges, his hands of ice around Martin's throat. Lena's desperate shot rings out, a futile attempt to break Kepler's deadly grip. Martin claws, his face contorted, life fading as Kepler lifts him, a puppet of rage. Struggles weaken, the fight drains from Martin. He hangs limp, a silent testament to Kepler's brutal force. Kepler drops Martin's body heavily. The sound echoes in the confined space, a grim punctuation to a brutal act. Kepler turns towards Lena, his expression unreadable in the dim light. The air crackles with unspoken threat. A violent lurch throws the train off course, sending a jolt of fear through the car. The train doors slam shut with a deafening bang, sealing their fate within the speeding metal cage. Darkness descends as the lights flicker and die, plunging the car into an abyss of uncertainty and dread. Inside train 9-3, Lena reels back, her eyes wide with alarm as the train hurtles through the dark tunnels. Kepler advances relentlessly through the dimly lit car, his presence a looming threat in the confined space. The train car sways violently, an unstoppable force speeding through the night, devoid of a guiding hand. The darkness amplifies the tension, casting long, distorted shadows as Lena struggles to maintain her balance. Inside train 9-3, Lena struggles with her radio, the static a harsh echo in the night. The dim emergency lights cast long shadows as Lena desperately tries to reach dispatch. Suddenly, Kepler attacks, swinging his wrench with savage force. Lena ducks behind a train seat, narrowly avoiding Kepler's violent blow. The metallic clang of wrench against metal fills the car as Lena braces for another attack. Inside train 9-3, the dim emergency lights cast long, distorted shadows, signaling rising tension. Lena's eyes dart around, locking onto the emergency hatch as a beacon of desperate hope. Driven by sheer will, Lena propels herself forward, a sprint fueled by urgency and fear. The cold steel of the hatch looms closer, her fingers stretching, grasping for freedom. In relentless pursuit, Kepler's looming figure appears, a predator closing in on its prey. The chase intensifies, a desperate race against time within the confines of the speeding train. Lena risks everything, hauling herself onto the roof of the speeding train 9-3. The wind screams past her, a relentless assault as dark tunnels become fleeting blurs. Kepler, undeterred, follows her, his determination etched against the night. Together, they brave the treacherous rooftop, silhouettes against the rushing darkness. Lena stands on the speeding train's roof, battling the fierce wind under a vast, starlit sky. The landscape blurs beneath her feet as she strains against the wind, her voice tight with urgency. "Kepler, why are you doing this?" she shouts, her words almost lost to the storm. Kepler's voice echoes back, cold and resolute. "I seek revenge. I was forgotten, but the train remembers me." On the roof of train 9-3, Lena squints against the wind, her hair whipping around her face. Her eyes widen in disbelief as she spots a collapsed tunnel looming ahead, a dark maw in the night. This abandoned section of the train line, barricaded years ago, spells certain doom. Train 9-3 hurtles onward, an unstoppable metal beast speeding towards destruction. The collision course is set, a terrifying dance between steel and oblivion. On the roof of train 9-3, Lena fights the howling wind, realizing the deadly stakes. "We'll both die if we stay on this train," Lena cries out, her words almost lost to the storm. Kepler, unmoved, raises his wrench higher, his face shadowed, unreadable. The train hurtles onward, a metal beast against the night, carrying them toward an uncertain fate. On the speeding train 9-3 roof, Lena dives toward the emergency lever, battling fierce winds. Her fingers stretch, inches from the lever, the train's momentum a relentless force against her. Suddenly, Kepler's hand clamps around her ankle, his grip a vice of determination. Lena is caught, suspended between escape and capture on the speeding train, high atop train 9-3. The night air whips around Lena as she prepares for a desperate fight. With a swift, brutal kick, Lena strikes Kepler's mask. The mask shatters, revealing a horrific, burned visage beneath. Kepler recoils, his agonizing scream tearing through the night. "Ah!" Lena stares in horror, the skeletal face a grim testament to Kepler's true nature. On the roof of train 9-3, swallowed by the night, Lena's figure is a silhouette against the rushing darkness. With a surge of strength, she pulls the lever, the metal groaning under the strain. The side panel explodes outward, ripped free from the train with a deafening roar. Wind screams as the train hurtles forward, the open void a stark challenge. Without hesitation, Lena leaps from the speeding train, a defiant act against the odds. The darkness embraces her as she falls, the train receding into the distance, her fate unknown. The train hurtles toward the tunnel's mouth, an unstoppable force against the looming darkness. A deafening screech as metal grinds on stone, a prelude to disaster. The train violently collides with the collapsed tunnel, a cataclysmic impact. A monstrous roar echoes through the night as the train cars buckle and twist. Flames erupt, painting the sky with fiery hues as the wreckage burns. The tunnel is now a tomb of twisted metal and raging inferno. Amidst the Greywater wreckage, rescue teams swarm, a stark contrast to the twisted metal and shattered concrete. Bruised and visibly shaken, Lena stands amidst the chaos, a silent observer of the grim scene. Firefighters meticulously dig through the debris, their movements precise and urgent. A medic wraps a thermal blanket around Lena's shoulders, a small gesture of comfort amidst the devastation. The morning light casts long shadows across the wreckage, highlighting the scale of the disaster. At Greywater Station's tunnel entrance, a firefighter leads Lena to a grim discovery amidst the wreckage. A mangled engineer mask lies abandoned, a silent testament to a missing body. Tracks lead away from the scene and into the tunnel, a path taken by someone who survived. Lena's voice echoes with desperate hope and fear. Kepler? A faint, distorted reply from Echo, a chilling confirmation. Still here.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share.